The year is 1957. A small, unassuming metal ball weighing less than 9 kilograms is launched into space from a Soviet rocket, becoming the first artificial satellite to orbit the Earth. It's an achievement that would have been impossible just a decade before. But it's not only this technological triumph that shocks the world, but also the fact that the accomplishment was made by the USSR. How did the Soviets manage to reach space so quickly? What does their success mean for the future of humanity? For the Americans, it means starting a war. Not a war of bullets and bombs, but something much more significant. A war of innovation. A war that would change science forever. This is the space race. Our story begins with Sputnik, the Soviet satellite that started it all. It was the first artificial object to orbit the Earth. It was launched in 1957 during the height of the Cold War. Until then, the United States and the Soviet Union were locked in a deadly game of nuclear chicken, each trying to outdo the other in terms of weapons technology. The US had the bomb, and so did the Soviets. And to make things worse, the British, French, Canadians, Australians, and New Zealanders could say the same thing too. At the time, there was a lot at stake. The world hadn't seen such a display of power since World War II, and no one was sure where this competition would end. Would the countries involved be willing to share their newfound powers, or would they use them to control the rest of the world? In this context, the launch of Sputnik sent shockwaves across the United States. To President Eisenhower, it was obvious that he had to respond. The whole country was watching and waiting for his reaction. While most Americans were stunned by the Soviet Union's technological prowess, some saw this as an opportunity to demonstrate America's own strength. On October 4, 1957, the New York Times published a special edition detailing the launch of Sputnik and its implications for the future of humanity. The front page of the paper featured a picture of the rocket that had carried the satellite into space, along with an article describing the event in detail. This was not lost on Americans who saw it as a symbol of American ingenuity and determination. In response, Eisenhower pledged to increase funding for science and technology, in order to ensure that the United States would never fall behind the Soviet Union again. This commitment resulted in some major advancements in fields such as aerospace engineering, which ultimately led to the creation of NASA in 1958. Within just 2 years of its creation, NASA had already begun planning for human spaceflight. By 1961, Alan Shepard became the first American to reach space. Just 1 year later, President John F. Kennedy announced that the United States would send a man to the moon before the end of the decade. Neil Armstrong became the first human being to set foot on the lunar surface. This achievement marked the culmination of years of hard work and dedication by thousands of scientists, engineers, and technicians. It was a testament to human ingenuity and a victory for the United States in the space race against the Soviet Union. But while the Americans were celebrating their success on the moon, the Soviets were launching their own spacecraft into orbit around it. In 1970, they launched the Zond 7 spacecraft, which successfully flew past the moon and returned the first close-up pictures of its far side. This was an important milestone for the space program because it provided valuable data that would be used in the planning of future missions to the moon. Furthermore, it demonstrated the Soviet Union's capabilities in space exploration and served as a reminder of the competition that the United States faced in this field. Despite these accomplishments, however, the Soviet space program was unable to match the successes of the Americans. In 1971, the Apollo 15 mission landed astronauts on the moon, marking a significant achievement for the United States in the ongoing space race. The Soviets never managed to land humans on the moon, although they did come close with their N-1 rocket, which remains the largest and most powerful launch vehicle ever built. However, the N-1 suffered from reliability issues and ultimately failed to reach the moon. As a result, the Soviet space program's efforts to explore the moon were largely limited to unmanned missions. As the space race intensified, both the US and USSR began investing heavily in research and development to stay ahead of each other. This led to a number of technological spin-offs that had a profound impact on our daily lives today. For example, the development of satellites for communication and navigation would not have been possible without the advancements made during the space race. Similarly, the miniaturization of electronic components and the development of new materials were directly influenced by the need to create lightweight yet durable spacecraft. Even the development of computers was accelerated by the demands of the space program, leading to their widespread use in various industries and eventually in our homes. In addition to these technological advances, the space race also had a profound impact on our understanding of the universe. The images and data collected by spacecraft exploring the solar system have revolutionized our knowledge of astronomy and planetary science. We now have a much better understanding of the origins and evolution of the planets and other celestial bodies, thanks to the exploration efforts of both the US and USSR. During the height of the Cold War, one of the most significant achievements of the space race was the development of the Apollo program by the United States. This ambitious project aimed to land humans on the moon and bring them back safely to Earth. Through the Apollo program, NASA developed the Saturn V rocket, which remains the most powerful launch vehicle ever created. It also developed advanced life support systems, navigation and communication technologies, and new materials for spacecraft construction. These innovations allowed the Apollo astronauts to survive the rigors of space travel and explore the lunar surface for several hours at a time. The successful completion of the Apollo missions demonstrated the incredible engineering and scientific achievements of the space race. It also had a profound impact on popular culture, inspiring generations of scientists, engineers, and dreamers. The images of astronauts walking on the moon became an iconic symbol of human achievement and the potential of space exploration. Today, the space industry is more competitive than ever. Private companies are pushing the boundaries of what's possible, launching satellites, building rockets, and even planning missions to Mars. One of the most successful private space companies is SpaceX. Founded by tech billionaire Elon Musk, SpaceX has revolutionized the space industry with its reusable rocket technology, which has significantly reduced the cost of launching satellites and other payloads into space. The company has also developed the Starship, a massive rocket that is designed to carry large amounts of cargo and people to destinations throughout the solar system, including Mars. However, as exciting as these developments are, it's important to remember the roots of the modern space industry and the space race between the United States and the Soviet Union. The competition between these two superpowers led to incredible innovations and achievements that we continue to benefit from today. Without the space race, we might not have had the technology to launch satellites for communication, navigation, and Earth observation. We might not have developed the advanced materials and computing power that drive so many aspects of our modern lives. And we might not have had the inspiration to dream about exploring the solar system and beyond. The legacy of the space race lives on in the innovative spirit of the modern space industry. As private companies continue to push the boundaries of space exploration, they carry with them the spirit of competition and achievement that defined the space race. Who knows what amazing discoveries and innovations we'll see in the years to come? So the next time you look up at the night sky and see a satellite or a rocket taking off, remember the incredible achievements of the space race and the lasting impact it's had on our world. In a world where everything seems to be moving faster than ever, it can be easy to forget the incredible achievements of the past. But the space race is a reminder of what can be accomplished when humans set their minds to it. In the midst of the Cold War, the United States and the Soviet Union were able to put aside their differences and achieve something truly remarkable. They launched the first artificial satellite into space and sent the first humans into orbit around the Earth. This achievement had a profound impact on the course of history and inspired generations of scientists, engineers, and dreamers. Today, we continue to benefit from the technological spin-offs of the space race, such as advances in materials science, computer technology, and telecommunications. But perhaps the most important legacy of the space race is the inspiration it has left for future generations. The images of Yuri Gagarin and Alan Shepard taking their first steps into the great unknown are iconic symbols of human courage and curiosity. Their bravery in exploring the unknown has paved the way for countless others to follow in their footsteps and explore the vast expanse of space. Thanks for watching.